up, y'all? Welcome to the show. On Lamar, that's LJ. What the hell are we talking about this week?
We're talking about some more football, NBA preseason, a little bit of baseball because they have the playoffs going. But this is not a baseball
Playoffs?
show.
No, go
This
ahead.
is not a baseball show. If you want a baseball recap, go to Mad Dog Russo or Colin Cowherd or one of those baseball
Don't
guys.
even go to Colin Cowherd because he ain't gonna talk about it either. but
Yeah, let's go to him anyway. Why not?
yeah, all I care about is my Yankees. They got a one-game playoff against Oakland, and whoever wins that, I believe, plays Boston. I didn't really look at the bracket too tightly, but because again, I'm not a diehard baseball, but I am a Yankee fan, so I will be watching that game tomorrow night. Tonight is the NL wildcard game between the Cubs and I forgot whoever.
Rockies.
Yeah, and whoever wins that plays Milwaukee. So that is basically all the knowledge I have. um,
I don't know who's going to be NL MVP or AL MVP. I don't know who's going to win the Cy Young Award. I think I might know Jacob Degrom. I heard he has like one of the top 10 seasons of all time.
oh really?
That's what Chipper Jones said.
Mm.
He said that Jacob Degrom is having a top 10 season of all time. That's a lot. That's really a lot to say about somebody. It said that he's really killing. I was like, but he plays for the Mets, so
Yeah, well, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what does it matter?
The Mets have a lot of talent, so they just I don't know, they just can never get it together for some reason. They get together for like a season or two, and then they fall behind again. I don't know what's up with
You go to the World Series, and don't make the playoffs for the next 10 years.
that. Yeah, pretty much. It's really odd, but yeah. So we'll keep you posted on wins and losses, I guess, every week, but don't expect no real analysis. Don't expect no real analysis. Period. We just be running our mouth anyway. So anyway, so we'll move on. Preseason basketball started. Um, we watched the Knicks last night. That's who we mostly care about. I did watch Boston. Kyrie Irving is back. Gordon Hayward is back. Good for him. He had a nice block in that
Good for
game.
you.
But and to me, I think they're the. I think they're definitely gonna make it to the finals in the East, and I think they got a good shot at beating Golden State. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that they will beat Golden State. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
I
but
think the Lakers going to be Golden State.
no, not this year. They
I
not.
think the, I
You
think
know
the
how big of a
Lakers.
you know how big of a LeBron fan I am, but no, I'm not
I
expecting.
think I think the Lakers are going to do it.
If they do it, that would be shocking because some people got them as the eighth seed
What if they're the AC and they
and beat
beat
them.
Golden State? Then the LeBron Ick Riders they will saddle up and ride it all the way to the sunset.
Yeah, but at least for this year, you wouldn't be able to say nothing to them because if they did that, you couldn't say nothing to them unless somebody's hurt, like unless like Durant or Curry's hurt or something like that. Then it's like all right,
No,
but if both
if
teams
it's like
healthy
full,
and
yeah,
they beat
yeah.
them, then you got to at least leave LeBron alone for the year. Like you can't say nothing because they now unless they turn around and lose in the second round, that'd be crazy.
Don't say that, man. They beat Golden State in the first round and lose to the Nuggets in the second round. So
Lose to Utah. That'd be crazy, right?
I'm like,
But
huh?
but they would still be capable of losing to Houston. I still think. I
I
wouldn't be
think so too.
surprised if Houston beat them if something like that happened. But
I,
I'm
I
not
would, I
expecting
would,
any.
I would not. After that, they better just lose to Houston. That's
That's
it.
the only team that's the only team they could lose to. I mean, they could lose to Boston too, I think, but they can't lose to anybody else. Houston, I think those are the only contenders: Golden State, Houston, and Boston. I don't think there's anybody else that are true contenders this year. That's it. Like I don't see anybody else that could win the championship. And to be honest, I don't think Houston is going to be as good. I still consider them a contender, but I don't think they're going to be as good. So I don't think they're going to be Golden State this year. I think last year was their chance, and Chris Paul got hurt, and that was it. But as far as the
Years old. Chris Paul's 34 years old.
yeah
I don't really see him doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna carry on for a little bit too long.
Uh,
But
when he's
he's still
playing,
really
he's
good.
great. He
Yeah.
just can't stay healthy. But when he's playing, he still plays like Chris Paul. But he's got just keeping him on the court is a problem.
He's not a winner. Also, let's put that out there because he never gets any type of slack for not winning anything.
Oh no, he gets it, but maybe not like he should.
He,
But for me
I
personally,
never.
I don't usually blame him though. I don't because I've seen him play well in big games, and I've seen him do what clutch players do. So I don't really blame him. I mean you can't totally absolve him because he's the best player on the team. But I don't look at him in that same category as I look at say how I saw
Russell Westbrook.
Tracy McGrady or who you said?
Russell Westbrook.
Or I don't.
They play the same
I'm a
position.
little mixed on Westbrook too though because I
He gets
because
slack. Don't say he doesn't. He
oh no,
does.
in terms of that, I'm talking about in terms of how I see him as a player. Like I I've criticized Westbrook a lot in the past, and he plays
Well,
bad
rightfully
in
so.
fourth quarters, but he's also carried a semi weak team to the playoffs in the West, and he's also I mean now he had Durant, but he's been to a final, he's been to a conference final, but he doesn't play well in fourth quarters of a lot of these games. So I
Well,
put
he
him
just keeps shooting.
so I put him yeah so he is in that category. Um, sometimes like I'm hot and cold with Westbrook. Sometimes I just completely dismiss him, but then sometimes I look like he's still great though. He's still a great talent. Like, but so it's I just I'm hot and cold with Westbrook, but I just don't look at Chris Paul in that category because I don't think he plays bad in those situations. I think he plays well. I think I don't know. I just don't know if he's always had the. What is the last year was probably the best team he had before that, what would you say the best team he was on? Like the Clippers, or New Orleans that year that he almost got MVP, and Kobe got it instead. Like
That was New Orleans.
yeah, that was New Orleans. Right? What did I say? Did I say that?
Yeah, it said if Kobe got in the set, it's 2008.
Okay.
So that's New
Yeah,
Orleans.
that was
That's when
New
he was with
Orleans.
New
Right, right.
Orleans.
So that
Yeah.
was New Orleans. Um, yeah, so that was a great year for him,
He had 22 and 11,
and they were and
which
they
is
yeah. Go ahead.
he had 22 11, which are really good numbers. You know what I'm saying? They weren't a number one seed in the West.
I
But
think
it's
they were
still
number
probably
two. I
Phoenix.
think they were number 2 or 3.
They probably were
Because
third, two or
because it
three.
came down to whoever had a better record between New Orleans and Lakers was basically determining who's going to get the MVP that year. Because Kobe ended up having a better record. I just don't remember if he was 2 or 3. I mean, if the Lakers were 1 or 2 and New Orleans were 2 or 3, I don't remember what it was. But either way, um, I want to talk a little about Kyrie Irving for we criticized him for making that flat Earth comment last year. He said the Earth was flat and all of that, so he been getting crushed for it ever since. So he actually came out and apologized for it. He was like, "Yeah, we all have our conspiracy theories, and everybody does it." And then everybody started laughing. And he was like, "Yeah," he was like, "I got caught up." He was like, "I even had to apologize to my teachers and that I had once, when I was in school because they said that they had to teach different because their students are saying, but Kyrie Irving said the Earth was flat, so he had to basically apologize for saying. So at least he came to his senses.
Well, Kyrie Irving's a moron, and I'll let you
So
know
it's a
why
bit strong.
because he he knows that the Earth is round. You know what I'm saying? Like he went to school. He knows the Earth is round, but he still went out there and perpetuated a stupid conspiracy theory that people believe, and he did it knowingly uh, for no reason other than to get attention for himself and to be quote unquote different.
Okay, maybe
So
that because he's not really one to seek attention, but maybe he was trying to be contrary.
he wants attention. That's the reason he said it. Otherwise, he wouldn't say shit. He'd just think it. You know what I'm saying? Like he said it on camera, so he wanted
But he
attention.
probably he. I mean, he probably didn't think it was gonna pick up this much. craziness, but like I mean I don't look at him as a person that seeks attention, so I don't think it was that. I think he said it and
If
believed it. He's just saying what he felt. And
if
and
he
man,
if
if
he
you want
did
to
it
call
if
him a
he did it
moron for
on
thinking it,
if he did it on camera, he's seeking attention. You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise, I have plenty of thoughts that I'm not going to say in this podcast because I don't want attention for them. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? It's going to create stupid controversy. You know what I'm saying? So,
But sometimes people just say shit, don't even realize that the attention that it's gonna bring. Just
and
because you say it in front of the camera
that's
doesn't
what a
mean you're
moron
seeking it.
and that's what a moron comment comes about.
I
He's a
don't know,
fucking moron.
but well,
He's a
yeah,
fucking
moron
moron.
comment.
He's a fucking
I,
moron.
I'm not. I'm gonna refrain from calling from going that far, but
Yeah, I'll go
yeah,
that far. He's a fucking
because he
moron.
doesn't because that's the only history we have of him being a moron.
Well, that's if you're willing to put that out there and be judged by what you say, then I'm judging him based on his comment, and
I
that's
think
a
everybody's.
moron. And that's a moronic comment. So I'm calling him a fucking moron.
But I think everybody's entitled to
People
one comment. I don't think. I think once you start saying two, three, and four things,
that's
then you
shit.
become a moron. Everybody can have. Everybody can have a moment. But when you start saying stuff constantly, or even if you say something twice, that I can see you saying, "All right, you know what? Something's up with him." I'm not gonna go off on a ledge on for one comment that he made in his whole career that's questionable.
No, that's not a questionable comment. That's a stupid comment, and he
Okay,
knows it's stupid. He knows it's stupid, so I call him a fucking moron just because he made that comment on camera, knowing it's stupid. It's kind of like you can erase everything you did off of one comment. You know, say like you can erase, you can have a whole lifetime of doing good. One comment can erase everything.
right,
Just
but
one
that
thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Kanye.
well,
He can go.
he said a lot of moronic things though, and
He,
done a lot of moronic things.
he can erase everything he did. He erased everything he did. Everything. With just
Yeah,
one.
but he has a track record.
That's the thing. But that one comment he made this summer, where about the black people,
Slavery thing and all that.
black people wanted to be slaves. When he said that, that erased everything you did. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but that
Like
was
that.
but he already had a history of being crazy. So
Well,
if you
he have a
now
history. He have a
granted
history
that,
of
now,
being
I'm not
crazy, but
saying that one thing.
he also had a history of standing up for black people. He also had that history too. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the history of his albums, of his interviews, of him standing up and saying righteous things, and then him wearing the MAGA hat and saying, "Oh, slavery was a choice." Then everything you did gets flushed in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes one stupid comment
Well, not for
to
me. It doesn't.
it,
For me, you gotta
but
have a history
well,
of. I
like
mean,
it takes one stupid comment to erase everything you've done, all your entire
well, to you,
everything you've built. Like people don't seem to understand. Like when you get in front of a camera or you say something or you make a comment, all of a sudden everything you say fledges on that. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair, but it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like Al Sharpton as well. He didn't say anything wrong. He believed Tawana Brawley in 1988 when he was still fat Al Sharpton. Now look at him. This dude's like 125 pounds and he's 30 years older, but people still bring up Tawana Brawley, even though he's done all this and those 30 or 30 plus years. They still bring that up. You want to know why? Because that's just how people are. That's how things are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and plus, when you have a small sample size, like Kyrie Irving, when you say something stupid, that's what you get known for. So even if he does 1,000 smart things, you always be known for that moron who said the Earth was flat. You know that's why you have to be careful when you talk to the media and use the media for other things. You can be silly. Everybody can be silly, but when you say Earth is flat, and then you're being completely truthful and being honest and saying the Earth is flat, and that's what I believe, and then you're putting credence into something that's fucking ignorant.
yeah,
So
and I am 100% with you on that. It's like that whole flat Earth shit really annoys the shit out of me. I know this ain't about sports, y'all,
science, that shit annoys the fuck out of
that
me.
shit is ridiculous. Like and people and the people the stuff that people come up with, Like why when we look out on the horizon we don't see a curve? I'm like, you know how big the world is? Like 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 come on
You
now.
you,
Like
you,
people
have,
so stupid.
you know how tall you'd have to be to see a curve. You'd have to be like over 200 feet tall. No, not more than
Now
that. You have
yeah, I
to
was
be
gonna
over.
say
You have to be over. You have to be over 3 miles. You have to be bigger
you
than
have to be
any.
on top of the earth. You
You,
literally have to
you,
be on top of the earth to see
you
it.
have to be like if you're on top of Mount Everest, then you can see the world's curve.
I'm not even sure if you can see it from there. Like I think you got to be
You'll
way
see
up there.
you see a slight curve. You see a slight curvature if you're on top of Mount Everest, maybe.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Now granted, I do see how people can get caught up in dumb shit, but sometimes but like at some point you got to snap out of it. And it's not something like now I can see like again, I can see certain things, and I can see for a moment having a moment, but if it's something you believe in and that's just going on and on and on, it's like, all right, come on, yo, like snap the fuck out of it. Like I can see if you read a whole bunch of shit one day, your mind could be vulnerable to believe in certain things that sound like they make sense in your head. You know what I mean? I've been there. I'll read some conspiracy theories and and they'll put it in a way that where it makes sense. So like I
So
can
that's why they're conspiracy theories. That's
right.
why, and
So
that's what makes the internet. That's what makes these things like Facebook and the internet suck because you get fake news.
right.
And I'm not talking about like what Trump's saying, but you
Right.
get fake
Yeah,
news,
there's
and
right.
you get people
There's
who,
fake
who
news.
you get people, or you got websites, and you got all these memes that come out that aren't backed up by anything, and people just put them out there. And then after a while, you're just like, all right, I'm not even going to comment on it because it's so stupid. But
Yeah.
then people start believing it, and it's
And it
just
gains
like,
momentum.
it gives momentum. But we'll keep it to sports. Michael Jordan, there was something going around about him just funding private prisons,
Prisons, right.
and that's completely untrue. It's complete bullshit.
And
But it
I
just
just found out like this year that it was somebody else. I didn't
like
even
it's
know.
complete bullshit. That's why you have to look up these things. You can't go by memes to for research. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why when you see something, you say, okay, I'm gonna look that up, and then you look up that's bullshit.
Right.
That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like you just look up memes and just don't even pay attention to any memes at all.
Yeah.
You know that's just the way you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, yeah.
Yeah, I've thrown some stuff out there on Facebook that turned out that wasn't true, and I just be like, well, I should have looked it up, but I don't. I mean, I think a part of me just doesn't care enough to look it up, or care enough to be mad if I'm wrong, or to feel stupid if I'm wrong. I just put it out there, like so. I need sometimes I need to just look shit up because I shouldn't just throw shit out there that may not be true. I need to look it up, but I do it, but I just be like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't feel like looking it up. I'm lazy. Like, and there's a lot of people out there like me that's just too lazy to look stuff up, and they just throw it up there. So,
No, there's people not like you just put up in like it's for a comedy sake, but they believe it.
right,
And that's another thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they put something up, and since it's on a meme because they say something, they believe it. And
right,
that's another thing. They don't do research on their own. They
right.
like so then like a Google search.
Like
Point
the same
point
device you
three
use in the
point three
Facebook
seconds.
is the same device you can use to search
Yeah, like a Google search
and
can
back up your
eliminate
argument.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It can eliminate all doubt. You're thinking like, that doesn't seem right. Or like maybe you have a preconceived notion. Maybe you don't like
right,
a player. But
right.
you know what I'm saying? Maybe you already have a bias against it and you see a meme that
That
says something that you were
supports what you
thinking.
believe.
You
Right,
know what I'm saying? It supports what you believe. So you put that meme out there because you don't like this guy or you hate this player or so but it turns out to be 100% wrong. You know what I'm saying? That I've seen a lot of memes about Colin Kaepernick that are 100% wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because people just put them out there and they don't have any idea what the fuck they're talking about. Even my Facebook friends, and I invite any of them to delete my black ass if they ever see if they ever have any butt hurt with me saying something when you post something stupid. And
all right,
I will say something, and I put your ass right on blast, and
right.
I double dog dare you to delete me.
because he'll find you. He will find you and he will hunt you down.
Don't leave me. All right, football.
Yes.
Who
All right.
played? Who played football
All
this
right.
weekend?
So we'll start with the with Seattle beating the Cardinals, but nobody cares about that. All
And
we care
another
about is
thing, nah.
all we really care about is Earl Thomas giving the Seattle bench the middle finger. I don't know who he was looking at when he gave it, but I know he was directed towards his own bench while he was being carted off after he broke his leg. And if y'all don't know, he was holding out during the offseason for for a longer contract because he felt like he didn't want to be in this situation where he gets hurt and he's not under contract. So now that's exactly what happened, and now that just makes Le'Veon Bell make even more sense because that's the situation he's trying to avoid, and everybody's making him out to be the bad guy. And so now Earl Thomas got to sit at home with a broken leg, not knowing what kind of contract he's going to be offered next season by any team or whatever. So that sucks. I mean, that's why in football they do it. That's exactly why they do it, and now he's got to suffer.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I didn't know why he was giving his team the middle finger, but it just seems that like what you said, whenever they hold out, the team is always like, oh, he's not a team player, he's a problem, he's this, he's that. But when he gets hurt, it's just like, oh well, it's part of the game,
Right. It's a
So
business.
so so even the players go against their own interests,
Right.
which is dumb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody holds out, you support them.
Right.
Don't what you go. You don't worry about. Oh, he's not playing like he is in the team. Like, don't get that way. Be a businessman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is a business,
And
and this man is making a bunch of money. If somebody else, if what you go like don't worry about him not playing. Don't worry. As long as you're playing, what the fuck do you care about what this guy's doing?
right.
That's his
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. I'm like, instead of the problem with that is there's only on average probably every team there's probably only about 3 players that are worth big money. You know what I mean? Like that's worthy of a big major contract like that. So everybody else don't feel the same way he feels. They're all in a bracket where they're not gonna get paid no matter how good they are. Like offensive linemen aren't gonna get paid major money. So it's like there's only
Actually, yeah, they are. They're gonna get paid money, especially left
they
tackle.
get paid pretty good money, but they don't get paid like how running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers get paid.
Well, running backs don't get paid at all.
Yeah.
I was gonna say those are the people who don't get paid. The people who do get paid, quarterbacks, of course.
Right.
Um,
So they better not say nothing.
corners get paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Corners get paid. I would say wide receivers after them,
A great pass rusher gets paid.
pass rushers. But I would say that offensive linemen are around like not two because I think corners get paid like I think a great corner gets paid like almost right under a quarterback. But
Now I think wide receivers are doing that now between OBJ and somebody else.
yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say
changes.
that
It changes.
wide receivers are kind of going up,
Right.
and
It
linebackers
changes.
are going back to are going down down the food chain. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to pay a linebacker anymore.
Right.
Like you don't need them.
Yeah, defensive end. You like a good pass rush like Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack, but yeah, like you said, a lot of linebackers just don't get it. Yeah, like it's crazy. Now we might as well move on to Le'Veon Bell. He said he's gonna come back. The Steelers just lost another game to Baltimore, so they're like 1-2-1. And Le'Veon Bell said he hates the way his team is struggling. He's gonna come back in week 8. Like, first of all, if you hate the way your team is struggling, you'll be coming back like next week. You won't be waiting until week 8. So
He's trying to paint himself as a good guy,
right? He's trying to change the narrative a little bit, but no, like if you cared that much, it wouldn't be about your contract. It would be coming back now. So we know what you're doing. Let's keep the narrative to what it is because you're doing the right thing. You don't have to feel like you're not doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing because they ran you like 350 times last year, and then you're gonna be worth nothing in the open market if they do that again this year, and then you become a free agent. So, like you're doing the right thing. Keep holding out. Come back when you need to, which is like week 10 or whatever. I mean, come back week 8, whenever you want to come back. I'm not gonna tell you when you should come back, but Don't try to act like it's something else. Stick to your narrative because it's the right one, and especially after seeing what happened to Earl Thomas yesterday, and his teammate Wagner had Earl Thomas's teammate. He
Bobby
said
Wagner.
Bobby Wagner. He said something about that about how do you get used and then it's a business when something like this happens. And then Le'Veon Bell commented, it was like exactly like so yeah, like like you all know what it is. I understand the situation. I know you want to be out there, but you're doing what's best for you, and I'm with you on that. So don't even act like it's something else.
Yeah, well, I don't think Le'Veon Bell is one of our listeners, but I think you'll get the message. You know what I'm saying? They were actually talking about trading him. And first, I heard a few weeks ago it was the Jets. Then I just heard like
Indy,
last week, like maybe a couple days ago, the Eagles. I'm like, how many running backs do they need?
the Eagles.
They have a Jai.
Wow.
If they want to trade him for a Jai, I mean, okay.
Well, I was gonna say they'll probably have to give up a giant because what they want at least a second round pick and a good player. That's what they want. So if you give up a giant and your second round
If
pick,
I'm the
whatever,
Eagles, I'm definitely jumping on that. Why not?
yeah. I mean
You want to know why? Because well, we can get to the Eagles game in a minute because I thought they were going to go 13-3. I think they might go 10-6. These guys, they stink. The entire division stinks,
yeah.
but yeah, they stink. And I really want to get into that Colts game. And speaking of people who stink, like that coach sucks. He's
Who the
stupid.
Colts coach?
Oh yeah, you know what he did, right?
Yeah. Well, he went for it in the overtime, or whatever.
You know what he did? No, this is what he did. This
Okay,
is what the dude did. All right, they were going to go. They were going to have a tie. It was going to be a tie. You know what I'm saying? Like they were on. I forgot who they were playing against. Jesus Christ,
yeah, I can't remember.
Tennessee or Houston?
Tennessee.
Houston.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I'll tell you in 1 second. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'll fill you
well,
in as you
they
go.
were on the opponents. No, they were on their own 40 or something like that. It was like third and long,
It was third.
and they
It was
decided.
third and. It was third and four, I think. It was fourth and four. It was fourth and four.
Oh, 4 from 4. Yeah, 4 from 4. And they decided to go for it. I'm like, why are you going for it? Just take the tie.
Yeah.
Just take the tie. You know what I'm saying? Like they had like 24 seconds left.
Yeah.
So there was no way that they were gonna like. It was a very tiny chance that they were gonna
Getting
they were
field
gonna
goal range
get
and
field goal range within the time, within that little bit of time. If it was 4 from 4, like you don't really kick the ball off either because you don't want that disaster to happen.
yeah.
It,
So what do you do?
what you call that? At that point, you just let the clock run out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, the clock. I think the clock was stopped because there was an incomplete or whatever. Either way, the clock was stopped. So at that point, you got to do something. So, um,
well, you kick it out of bounds.
well, um, so see what I think. And by the way, it was against Houston, and yeah, I get why everybody's saying he's stupid, but at the time, yeah, and at the time, I was looking like, I don't know, like I was like, I don't know.
There was like very tiny advantage to that. You know what I'm saying? There was no advantage. You're going for the first down at that point. So if you don't get the first down, then this team's gonna win.
Yeah,
You know, like you go for the fucking tie, and that's it.
yeah,
You know what I'm
they
saying? Like
got
there's
like two
nothing to do.
plays and they were in field goal range, and yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, remember he was with Philly and Philly was really aggressive. Philly's coach is really aggressive in that way, so he has that same mentality. So I'm guessing that's why he did it. I just don't. Yeah, I don't. I would have did it. I would have just. I would have just took the tie. Now I'm kind of surprised at you for saying it because you hate ties. So I figured because you could kind of consider a tie as a loss. Am I correct?
Well, it's not a loss, but it can come back to haunt you. But in that situation, you don't go for a loss.
Right.
You know what
You'd
I'm
rather
saying?
have
Like
the tie.
I'm not I would rather have a tie than a loss. I'd rather have half a loss than a full loss.
Right. Yeah, I certainly would have did it, and there's a lot of people defending him today, and because they think like as a team, the team definitely defended him. For one, they're going to, and two, I guess they like the aggressiveness. Like most teams like to be, players like to be aggressive, so the players would go for it every time if they could. So you almost kind of can't go by them. Moving on to all right, we can talk about the Eagles game now. They lost again. They lost to the Titans. By the way, Titans are 3-1. Titans are tough. Like they're well coached and they're a good defensive team. Their quarterback isn't great, but
No, he's
they're
not.
pretty good. What is that?
No, he's not. I always thought that Mariota was going to be a lot better than what he is, but he just like it. If they have a good if they have a good defense, they be talking about how bad he sucks.
Yeah, because I mean, he's like, because you're watching the game, and he's not doing nothing terrible, but he's just not doing anything good either. Like
No, he's
he's not
not.
making crucial mistakes, but you just watch him, and you're just like, nah, he's not the guy. Like he's not gonna get it done. But but the Titans as a team, they're pretty damn good. But that's no excuse for the Eagles to lose again. They're what 2-2 now, or 1-3.
I think they won 2 games.
Okay, so yeah, I know they won the first week, and then I think they barely won another game after that somewhere down the line. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, they're 2-2, and I don't know what's up with them, man. Like, I guess part of it is that Super Bowl hangover that teams get, which I kind of thought they were gonna
Well,
get. I'm not that surprised. I
well,
kind of predicted it.
their line is old.
Mm.
The front line is old. Their defense is old. You know what I'm saying? The youngest part of their team is their quarterback.
But I think they're struggling more on offense than anything, though. Like their defense isn't playing terrible because most of their games were like low scoring games, but but it's their offense that's struggling. Like they're not clicking on offense right now. I mean, plus they're gonna get everybody's best. They're the defending champions and they talk a lot of shit. So they're definitely getting everybody's best shot. But I don't know. It's still early in the season. The division is not very good, so they'll probably still win it at 10-6, 9-7, whatever it is. But they're tied up with Dallas now at 2-2, and Dallas has not looked
And
good, but
Dallas
they're
is
two
not a
and
good
two.
team. Uh, Dallas is not a good team, but I heard one sportscaster say that Ezekiel Elliott was better than Emmitt Smith. So,
Wow,
uh, and this is
who
someone
said
you
that
know.
bullshit?
This is someone you know.
Who
Someone
said
you
that?
listen to. Someone you listen to.
Not Colin Cowherd.
No, someone you listen to. Nah, it's nah, for real. Someone you
Nah,
listen to. Nah,
who
it's
was it? Who the
it's
hell
Skip
was it?
Bayless.
Oh, first of all, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
listen.
a,
First of all, I don't listen to him anymore. Second of all, he says a lot of hot take bullshit all the time. So I'm not surprised that he said that. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, there's no reason to think that he's better than Emmitt Smith by any means. Like he had one really good season his rookie year. Last year he wasn't available very much. This year he's so far decent. He's
he's
good.
lead the league. He's lead the league in rushing.
Okay, he's good. I mean, but to say he's better than Emmitt Smith, there's nothing that says that right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that says that. Like, he's good. So, like, that's ridiculous. That's just a ridiculous thing to even say. Who did Dallas play again?
Oh, the Lions.
Oh yeah, they beat the Lions, right? Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about the guy. That game almost didn't even exist to me. Like, I don't pay much attention to that game this weekend.
Nah, me neither.
Um,
We can go to my Giants now.
okay.
We played the Saints, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's going to be a shootout. We're going to have." Because last time we played them, we that was a terrible game where we were just thrown all over the fucking field and just scoring touchdowns. That I don't like games like that.
Yeah.
I don't like games
Now,
where
I don't like when my team is
there's no
involved in
defense.
it.
I really don't like games like that. I like good defensive games, and the Saints have a terrible defense. They're ranked 30, and we could not score on them. Couldn't move the ball.
That's a bad sign.
And that's but it's supposed to be a high-powered offense with Eli and Barkley. Barkley had a good game again. Odell Beckham. He left the game to get IVs. I have no idea why he
Oh,
came
really? I
back.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he left the game at halftime to get IVs, and he came back in the game. I think he's sick. I think that's what happened. But the Giants couldn't move the ball at all. They scored in their first drive, and like Eli's playing like David Carr is playing in Houston. Like he has to get the ball out, and he's looking more at the rush than at the quarterback downfield.
Yeah.
And
What is
when
the
you're
quarterback doing downfield?
no, he's looking more at the rush than the guy down the field. I'm sorry, but yeah. So at that point, when your quarterback is shook like that, you
You can't play. You
can't
can't
use
play
him.
like that. Right. You can't.
You can't use him anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that. Like when the quarterback's not looking down and he's just throwing balls 2 yards out, like you can't fix that.
Right. I mean, I don't know if you can fix. Well, you can fix it by protecting him. If you
Well, well,
protect
the,
him,
the thing is, he's not gonna look. You can get protection for him, but he's permanently scarred from being on his ass for running for the last 3 seasons.
yeah,
So
man. All it takes is a good 3 or 4 weeks of being protected, the offensive line getting this shit together, and then he'll have confidence in them again. But it's just a matter of will that happen? That's the question. Like,
it's not gonna happen. Not with this team. You know,
right? That's the problem.
it's not with this team. This team is terrible. Um, they're going to go for a quarterback. They're going to have to go for a quarterback in the next draft. But to be honest with you, they're the only team that's going to go for a quarterback because every other team has one in wait.
Maybe the Cowboys.
They're not going to go for. They're not going to pull the trigger on getting a quarterback now. Not especially not in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it depends because remember Dak Prescott's not no first round pick. It's not like
well, he's not a first round pick, but he's their starter, and right now they're tied for first place in the East.
well
So
right
they're not
now.
going to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That they're not. They haven't thought about replacing him, but they're not going to. You know, not right now. Jerry
I,
Jones is not going to. You know, Dak Prescott,
he is
like,
usually loyal to his players, so it's
you know what I'm
likely that
saying?
he won't.
He's gonna be the starter next year. You know what I'm saying? Like at least another year.
But his son is starting to make more and more decisions, and his son seems to be more level headed than he is.
Well,
So
his son's been making decisions there for the past 5 years.
I don't know
That's
how
not
much decision though. Like
the
it seems
older
like he's
that,
has more
that's
influence the last year or so.
no, he's been doing that for the last 5 years. Like Stephen Jones has been there for a while. You know what I'm saying? He's an older guy. You know, what I'm saying? Jerry Jones is in his 80s. Stephen Jones is like in his 50s. So like he's been in there for a while. Like they're not thinking about it. So they're not gonna replace him. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be for the next at least couple of years. You know, so you're going to hear it before it happens. It's not going to be sudden. They're going to draft a quarterback in the first round in 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to draft a quarterback after next year. If you're going to start hearing about, hey, maybe Dak Prescott isn't the guy. Maybe Dak Prescott isn't the guy. But when they're winning, they're not going to do anything to replace him. The only team that I can think about who definitely be looking for a quarterback is us Giants, the L.A. Chargers, Phillip Rivers, who knows how long he's got there, um, and
It ain't too many.
well, New England, but they're not going to have a
Yeah,
first
they'll be
round.
looking for
Yeah, they'll be looking for a
unless they
quarterback,
trade up or something like that. But
and the Raiders. Believe it or not, the Raiders are going to be looking for a quarterback,
they
and if
should be though. I think they got the guy. They just gotta
they
get better team
they
around him.
John, I told you John Gruden is John Gruden. We ended the show with this last week. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to trade. He's going to wind up trading Derek Carr, who was almost a goddamn MVP before. All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Derek
Fuck
Carr.
John. Yeah. Fuck John. No, I'm not saying fuck John Gruden. Actually, I am, but passive aggressively. But yeah, like he's just not a good coach. I don't know why they make roster moves and these grooves just come in and just tear down a quarterback who was already there because that wasn't his pick.
Mm.
Um, Even though that's a quality quarterback, a really good quarterback, I'll take him.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like he did the same. Oh, his brother did the same thing with RG3. He wanted to be right about RG3 because RG3 is hurt.
Yeah.
You know, Kirk Cousins, but he
Derek
got
Carr is
rid of
one of
Kirk
the
Cousins too.
Derek Carr is one of the better quarterbacks. Like
Yeah,
if you
he's
get
one of the better. Yeah, he's one of the
if
better
you get rid of
quarterbacks in
him,
this
then there's
league.
something wrong with you. Like yeah,
Yeah, he got rid of Khalil Mack, and all of a sudden he doesn't know. Hey, we don't have a pass rush. See,
idiot.
and that's when you say stuff like that, that makes me think you're a fucking moron.
Right.
Uh,
That does make me think you're a moron when he see now he has a track record of things. He said that. He did that. So, now again, like I said, I didn't criticize him too hard for making that trade, but when you do that and then turn around and say we need a pass rusher, that makes me think you are a moron. So it's like now that being said, I'm still not jumping off totally on what they are over there in Oakland and what they soon will be in Vegas. But I'm not saying it's not gonna work yet. But I'm just saying it's not off to a good start. And he now granted he has been in every game he's played so far. They haven't been finishing well, but I'm not really just jumping off ship yet. I'm gonna wait and see with how things go. Definitely gonna wait this season and see how he builds up to see what he does next year and take it from there.
well, we'll stick with the NFC West and go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Um,
The
we,
NFC
we,
West or
we
the
go
AFC West?
AFC West. We go NFC West is your team. Well, what you got the AFC West? We go with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patty Mahomes. This this guy, man. The what we're looking at right now is the guy who's going to take over for like I'm not going to say he's going to replace Tom Brady, but he's going to replace Tom Brady as
The
the face
best,
of the league.
right? The face of the league. Right? I can see that. I mean, so far, so good. I mean, I don't like to jump too close, to that conclusion just yet.
I said that before the
It's
season
only four
started.
games. I don't know if you said all that,
I
but
did.
but
I was saying
I
this
know you
guy.
like Pat Mahomes. I don't know if you went that far.
I was saying that last year. I said we should have did whatever we could to
I
get him.
that you did say.
I said that like I would do anything to have that type of quarterback. Anything,
Anything.
right?
um,
like
yeah, go ahead.
um, you see a lot of these analysts say, "Hey, Giants should have drafted a quarterback." Sam Darnold was there. I don't care about Sam Darnold. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to lead anybody anywhere. I don't see anything in him. Nothing.
Okay.
You know, say I'm not, so I really don't care about Sam Darnold. Now, Josh Allen seems like more of a better. It seems like he's more of a fit. He has a cannon of an arm. I like that, but he could turn out to be Joe Flacco for all I know.
He's an athlete too. He can run. I saw him jump over a guy. He's an athlete too. But
Just still
so
same old Bills.
huh?
Still same old Bills though.
Uh, so far, all of the young quarterbacks are looking okay. It look like that they can do something now. Baker Mayfield against the Raiders, he had four turnovers, but it was a shootout. Like he had four turnovers, but they still almost won. The final score was like 45 to 42 or something. Like it was a crazy game. So had he limited his turnovers, Cleveland wins that game. But like he's a rookie, so it's like I'm not tripping over a rookie turning the ball over. Like I was listening to Colin Cowherd, he was talking about it, but he likes to criticize. He likes to criticize Baker Mayfield, but I'm like, I'm not. I wasn't that big on Mayfield to be honest, but I'm not gonna just criticize him just for the sake of criticizing him. He's a rookie. You know what I mean? And he's got that team playing. They almost won the game. They didn't win, but they almost won. He gave them their first win since 2006, since Christmas Eve of 2016. Like, come on, give them some credit. You know what I mean? But all of the rookies so far look pretty solid. Look like they're gonna be that they could have something going for them. Lamar Jackson's the only one that doesn't get a chance to throw the ball. He's just doing a lot of option stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But outside of him, all the first round quarterbacks look like they could be something next year. Um, We'll talk about the Bears and the Bucks. The Bears beat the brakes off them. They beat them 48-10.
No more pitch magic.
Fitzmagic got benched for Jameis Winston. He didn't look too good either, but he's the starter again. They already announced him next week going to be the starter. Mitch Trubisky, who I'm not that big on, has 6 touchdown passes. He had 5 of them at halftime. Like he was like on a roll. So now they do have a really good. Like they don't talk about him much, but their coach is a really creative offensive guy. So like I didn't know much about him, but I'm starting to hear some lately. I'm starting to hear about him. He's a really creative offensive
Like
scheme,
another Mike Marks.
or like a McVay even or something like that. They say he's that good. So like I said, I never heard of him. I didn't know much about him,
Yeah, I
but
never heard of him either.
but they're saying that I don't even know where he was a coordinator at before or anything like that. So I don't. I never heard of him. So, but they say he's really good. So we'll see. The Bears are what? Are they what 2-2 now?
Yeah, I think they're 2-2.
So
I
or are
think
they
so.
3-1 even? Maybe I don't know.
Uh,
But we'll see. I'm still I think they're leading that division now though, because Minnesota is struggling a little bit. But
well, yeah, they're first in NFC North.
at what? What's their record? Trying to run a show
Three and
here.
one. 3-1. Well, it's 3-1. All right.
but so yeah, I mean, so like that division, like Minnesota, I'm a little surprised that they're struggling. I mean, then again, they just played the Rams. Like the surprising one was what Buffalo. That was the one that they should have won. That they did, but they're what 1-2-1 right now. So they're struggling a little bit. Um,
Well, Kansas City is 4-0, and the Rams are 4-0. You know what I would love? You know what I would love? What won't happen? Two undefeated teams going to the Super Bowl together. The Rams and
well,
that would
well,
actually.
well, they're gonna play each other this year, so that's not gonna happen. They play
That's
each other week
they
11.
should tie.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be awesome if they tied.
Yeah, the way this season is going, shit. It was almost 2 more ties this weekend. like within a minute of that happening, two other games almost tied. But yeah, that's gonna be the game of the year if these two teams keep playing the way they're playing. I definitely believe in the
It
Rams.
already is a game of the year.
I definitely believe in the Rams because I picked the Rams before the season started to
Yeah, you
probably
did.
go to the Super Bowl. So Chiefs, I didn't,
I didn't have faith. I
I
didn't
didn't
have
know
any
what they were
faith in
gonna
them.
be, huh?
I didn't have any faith in that team. I didn't have any faith in the Rams
Yeah, I know. Like you didn't have
because
no
of
faith in all. I was just thinking like, why they made the playoffs last year and they
you
should be
want to know why?
better.
Because of Jared Goff.
Uh, well, I mean, under this coach, he looks great. So, last year he looked good. This year he looks like an elite quarterback. So, we'll see. I mean, the one thing we gotta look at though at Goff and Mahomes though, a lot of times their receivers are wide open. So they, as great as they look, there's not a lot of pass. Well, I'll say I saw a few passes from both where they had to squeeze it in, especially Goff. I've definitely seen a lot of passes where Goff made some really good throws with coverage. Pat Mahomes, I saw 1 or 2. Goff, I saw about 6 or 7 this year. Like Goff is definitely throwing them in some tight spaces. Mahomes is usually on the run. His looks great because he's on the run. He throw a left-handed throw, but again, these guys are usually open. Like these guys are usually like wide open when he throws them, but he does sometimes have to scramble to get to them. So he's good at scrambling. He's good at throwing on the run. So I'll definitely give him credit for that. But we'll see what happens when he plays against a really dominant defense. That I mean, he played against one this week and he struggled in the first half. But the Broncos are really good defensive. I actually went into that game and I predicted Denver was going to win. So I was looking good for a while. But
I don't
like
know why you would do that.
because they were at home in a nationally televised game, and Denver's actually decent so far. Like and
I
team
have no idea why you would do
and team,
that.
another reason teams early in the season struggle in Denver because of the high altitude. So and they did. They struggled. Like they scored like over 30 and 40 points in every game. They didn't do it in this game. So they struggled. You know what I mean? They were down by 10 in the fourth quarter. So like I was like I said, I was almost right. They had to come back and win. So I still feel good. I was wrong, but I feel good about my prediction. But uh, moving on to I guess we can talk about New England. they everybody was ready to put them in the grave for some reason, but we all
Why would you
know.
do that?
Well, yeah, we all know that they you can get them in September. You can win a game or two in September and
Kind of tired. I'm not
early
tired of
October.
them.
Yeah,
Aren't you?
I honestly I am too. Like, and, I used to root for them, but I'm tired of them too. I'm ready for another team. And look, and everybody thinks thought it was gonna be the Eagles. I think the Rams are gonna be that team that has a coach for a long
No, I
time,
don't.
and
I
they're gonna
don't
be
know
really
why
good
anybody
for a
would think
long.
that about a team in NFC East. Why would you think that about a team?
I was talking about
Like,
the
there's
Eagles,
nothing.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't care if we had. I don't care if the Giants had a franchise quarterback who was like Tom fucking Brady. Well, no, if we had Tom Brady, that would be different. But if we had, I don't care if we had a franchise quarterback who was like Carson Wentz, like that. That division just it just goes topsy turvy every year. You
Yeah,
know, there's no consistency in it.
right. Yeah,
Uh,
and well, people, excuse me, people get caught up in the moment all the time. Like, it's just what it is. Eagles won; they beat the mighty Patriots. So all of a sudden, everybody thinks that they're gonna be dominant. Like, I expect them to be good this year, but I didn't expect them to repeat or anything like that. I felt like the Rams would be the team this year, and it's like you said, somebody in that division always steps up. I mean, Eagles will probably still win the division, the way that division is going, but it's not gonna be by a lot. They're just struggling. Um, but going back to New England, yeah, people try to bury them. They beat the Dolphins 38-7, and now I kind of wanted them to lose. I wanted to see how they recovered from Dolphins being 4-0 and then being 1-3. That would have been really interesting. Like, Dolphins winning that game would have made the league way more interesting, but New England winning it took care of business like they do. Like, it's a must win. They took care of it. So, but I really did want to see the Dolphins win. I wanted to see how that was going to play out. But they do what they do. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting Julian Edelman back this week. They're gonna probably use Josh Gordon a little bit more this week. But Gronk. They still got Gronk. They're gonna all of a sudden, by week 7, they're gonna look like the dominant Patriots that they always are. They're gonna be right back at very least to the AFC Championship. Anything?
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be the Patriots again. Probably an AFC Championship is against the Ravens. So it's just like okay, same fucking teams. No new guys in there. That's why it was kind of, even though I hate the team, that's what's kind of refreshing to see at least a new team. Well, the NFC is always a different team every year, so you know what I'm saying. So like everyone gets their shot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it really is. Every year, somebody different in the NFC.
You know what I'm saying? Like the hot team in the NFC goes to the Super Bowl every fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's the Rams or
Atlanta, Seattle,
Atlanta, Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
Carolina,
Yeah. And so
Philly.
every year somebody different.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying? The
true.
hot team NFC goes in and when and most of the time they don't win
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm
Well, I ain't gonna
saying?
say
Like
most of the time. I say about every other time, right? Because we got what? Because let's see, Philly won. Well, no, you're right. Because Atlanta lost. Yeah, you're right. Well, Seattle won one. Seattle lost one. Uh, I guess if you look at it down the line, I don't know. I would say the AFC probably did win a little bit more because Denver won.
it's always like either even if you go back, Peyton Manning's been retired for a few years, but even like it's him too. You know what I'm saying? Like even before then, you know what I mean? You can't go back that far
Right.
about the same teams going, but it's never fuck. I know one thing. It's never Aaron Rodgers anymore.
No, no, it's
It's
not.
never Aaron Rodgers.
And it's funny because
It's
Colin
never
Cowherd
Drew
said
Brees either.
today he was criticizing Aaron Rodgers, but I guess he just wanted to throw something nice in there. He was like, I'd be shocked if he didn't win at least one more. I'm like, I'd be shocked if he won another one at this point. Like that,
Yeah.
and it's not so much because of him. They don't put a good enough team around him, and he gets hurt a lot. So it's both. Like he gets hurt too much, and he carries that team. They don't. Nobody wants to play in Green Bay, so if they don't draft anybody well, then they don't really get too many free agents. So they just, they're just not gonna be that good in most cases. but
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and I want. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, like yeah, well, or what you said, they don't really get a lot. They don't really get any free agents, to be honest with you.
And the one year they did, they won it when they got Charles Woodson and Julius Peppers. They
yeah,
won.
they won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But at the end, what's Aaron Rodgers' legacy going to be? You know what I'm saying? He has one Super Bowl. He has a couple MVPs. They said that it said he was the best quarterback in the league, but never played a Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl almost damn near every year,
Right.
and he never even. It is and what you go. They have a different representative for the NFC, make it every year, and they just bypass Green Bay every single year.
Yeah. Every year, right? Every year that new team beats Green Bay. the 49ers did it. The Giants did it.
Atlanta,
Atlanta did it.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah. And again, I don't put most of the blame on Aaron Rodgers though. I give him some of the blame, but I put most of the blame on his organization because, like I said, they just don't put a good enough team around him on a regular basis. So like he doesn't have a run. He never has a running game. The one year he had a running game, again they won. They had got two running backs who weren't great running backs, but they were effective that season. That season they were effective. I can't remember their names. They had that really
Eddie
really
Lacy.
big, how
Eddie Lacy.
Lacy, and they had a slimmer guy. They had two guys who were effective tandem that year. Like that year, everything came together for them and they won. But outside of that, like they're just not getting it done.
And this year
I
they have Jimmy Graham, who just scored his first touchdown.
Oh, he just scored his first. Uh, like, like he hasn't done anything since he left New Orleans. but I wanted to go back to what you said about Baltimore. You said New England and Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore is one of those teams that I think could end up in the AFC Championship, like the way they're playing.
They always
And
do.
and they like they're a team that they don't get talked about much anymore. But
They just go out there and they look sloppy, but they win games.
right, and Joe Flacco's not that good, but they got enough around him. They got enough defense around him, enough running game, and all of a
And
sudden,
they don't have any Pro Bowlers.
right now. But what I will say about Joe Flacco is he does play well in the postseason. Like he's a lot better in the postseason, but he just doesn't get there consistent. I mean, he's just bad during the regular season. So but he plays better when his back gets to the wall for some reason. So. I guess we could just wrap it up there. Unless you got anything else to add.
I got nothing to add.
Alright, let's get
Preseason basketball. So
So
we'll talk. We don't need to talk about preseason. It's preseason. You know, DeAndre Ayton had a really great game.
Yeah, he had a big night, right? He had like 24 points or something like that. I saw the highlights. He looked really good.
And when I saw a center playing people in the post and not shooting 3 points, I was like, oh, okay, that's how we used to play.
And Bagley,
I like
Bagley
that.
didn't do nothing. Bagley had he was like 2 for 7. He had like 7 points in that same game for Sacramento.
Yeah.
Kevin Knox for the Knicks had 13 and 10 his first preseason game.
Trae Young was going to. I didn't see him
Trae Young
actually
didn't
play.
play that well either. He had 8 assists though, but as far as offense scoring wise, he didn't do much. But he did have 8 assists.
He'll turn that around. I have every faith that he will.
Yeah.
Because he's a shooter in this league.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, sometimes you're a shooter and it just doesn't work out for you. I don't know if I don't know what it is, but like Jimmy Fredette, he couldn't get it together.
He could create his own shots. That's
right,
the problem.
right. Now Trae Young can create for other people, so that should help him. But we'll see how his jumper comes along.
I think he'll be fine, especially in this league.
I'm rooting for him. I'd like to see him do good.
He's going bald already. He's a rookie.
That good hair is going away.
It's like he even get to enjoy it. But I mean, he did get to enjoy it because he has a child already. So his son's already walking. So I'm like, he started early.
Man, he ain't playing.
He wasn't playing. He took advantage of that jerry curl he has on top of his head.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
That's
Anything else? Anything else? Anything else?
okay. Our email address. I'm going to get tired of handing it out because guys are not emailing us. Um, it's lemar and lj at gmail.com. Mail us anything. No, not anything. Just mail us.
Yeah,
Just
you could,
mail
you
us
could,
something.
yeah, you could
Comments.
criticize, you could support, whatever you want to do. Just let us know something. What was I gonna say? Oh, subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcast. We would support. We would prefer you subscribe for iTunes because that's where all the, that's where everybody goes. But however you want to listen to it, it's fine by us. Just listen to the show, watch it on YouTube. Look up Lamar and LJ on YouTube, and what the hell are you talking about? Shit. All right, we will see y'all next week.